Your father is another great thinker. When you talk to him about not just the party, but the state of affairs of where we are, what does he think?
He's scared. I think a lot of folks are. I don't think he's any different than a lot of people that see where America has been, the greatness and the exceptionalism of American ideals and what we can be and what we can achieve. He was part of that. And look, my dad and your dad had some tough arguments, right? As governors that served at the same time, they had some tough arguments. But at the end of the day, they were always willing to come together and find a way, especially, you know, being two governors here in the Northeast, find a way to find some compromise and work things out. And there's just less and less of that. And I think that the fear is this, that we're setting an example for the next generation that has not seen, that doesn't have that history, that doesn't have that touch and feel of what it used to be like. And that doesn't just have to be stories we tell our kids. As someone in my position who has the responsibility to bring it back, right, to do everything we can to push back on it and make sure that we do champion the best of ourselves. And when you inspire folks, not just talk about it, but do it and lead with that smile, not just looking at everything through rose-colored glasses, taking on tough issues, but doing it with a hope and optimism and the bringing everyone together, that togetherness that allows those ideas to come forward. That's what it's all about. And it doesn't mean we're not going to have hard times. It doesn't mean we're not going to have hard disagreements. But it's about respect. At the end of the day, always respecting the viewpoint of someone else. Understanding what we talk about empathy, Chris. Do we practice empathy every day? We don't. We use it as a word, but do we really practicing it? Where is this individual coming from? Why does this individual feel so passionately this way? And what arguments can I bring to the table? And then how can we find compromise to get a result? So I think, again, with my dad and your dad, I mean, these are folks that stood up. You gotta, they're nervous, of course, and I try to be a calming voice and say, there is hope. We're going through some tough times, but there is hope to bring it all back.
One funny comment, and then I'm going to ask you a question that you're not going to answer, and I'm going to have to slap you around. So Chris's father is John Sununu. You can look him up if you really don't know, but he was governor of New Hampshire. He was chief of staff, and he, you know, was a great man. And he and my father used to be paired up every once in a while. And my father would say, you know, Sununu, you're the only other ethnic guy with a funny name that's as funny as mine. And your father said to him, yeah, but I'm not as funny looking. And my father always remembered that. Your father's got an amazing quick wit, and their perspective is so valuable now because he's seen us at our best and he's seen us at our worst. And so I sat in your office. I was doing a documentary about you guys dealing with, then it was opioids and heroin and using drug courts, and now of course we have fentanyl. Everything's been taken up a notch because it's so deadly. And I said, so why are you doing this? Everything is so bad. Like, why do you love this? You know, what do you? And you're like, I love my family, but I love to help as many people as I can. You remember saying that?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I do. Look,
okay, good.
I love my job.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on. If your love and your passion is to help as many as possible, we need leaders right now on the national level. Why don't you run for president?
Oh, dear Lord. Well, look, I think New Hampshire has the ability to lead this nation by being an example. When you talk about opioids and redesigning our system and how we do it, when we talk about mental health, the investments being made, the results we're getting, how we're doing it, education, all these different pieces. And I think you can take a lot of what we're doing in New Hampshire, not that we're perfect, not that we're #1 in every category, but we do it really well in a lot, and be that example for the rest of the country. I'm a big believer in the states. That's where the power is. Local control, not in Washington. Local control is where you get the most value, where individuals have the most say, where they can, not just at the state level, at the town level, at the school board level, empower folks to have that. I think we have this tremendous model for the last 200 years. I think, frankly, other states have to get back to that model. And to bring America up, we empower it from beneath. We empower it bottom up, as opposed to big government top down. So that's really where I think I can provide, I think, the best model, the best leadership, the best voice right now, not just for New Hampshire, but even for the country. I've been traveling around the country a lot. As you know, I was out in Vegas talking to the Republican Jewish Coalition. I do a lot of this speaking. Have. Yeah, and I like it.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Love
You've
it.
been doing more and more.
Come up and say, how do you do it? Yeah. They say, how do you do it? You have no sales tax. You have no income tax. You know, but you're still being able to bring results, bring programs at an efficient level.
Right.
And I love sharing our story about our models.
So I'll end on channeling a little of Brother Tim Russert, may he rest in peace. Are you saying that you will not run in 2024?
No, I'm not saying, no, I'm not even thinking about it right now. A lot of people are talking about it, I know, but I'm really, look, unlike Washington, I have 2 months to balance a budget. I have a legislative session coming. You know what my House of Representatives is right now, Chris? It's 201 to 199, basically, right? We have 400 reps, and it's basically an even draw, which means I got a lot of work to do.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.